Fame and fortune can disappear overnight when celebrities cross legal lines. These high-profile folks went from the top of their game to serving hard time, proving that money and influence can't protect you from justice when you break the law. Before we dive into the details of our investigation, make sure to subscribe to the channel and give it a like. It really helps the channel grow. 1. Sam Bankman-Fried. The former FTX founder got slapped with 25 years behind bars for pulling off one of the biggest financial scams in US history. This guy was once worth over $20 billion and was basically the face of crypto, appearing on magazine covers and testifying to Congress like he was some kind of financial genius. SBF had this whole act going where he played the humble billionaire who was going to give away all his money to charity. He drove around in a beat-up Toyota and slept on a beanbag to look all modest and down to earth. Meanwhile, he was straight up stealing billions from his customers' accounts to cover his gambling losses. The dude defrauded investors out of $1.7 billion while living it up in a T40 million penthouse in the Bahamas and throwing around over T100 million in political donations like it was nothing. When it all came crashing down, the judge ordered him to pay back $11 billion. Good luck with that from prison. His trial showed he had zero remorse for all the regular people who lost their life savings trusting him. Now he's locked up in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, sharing space with other fallen celebrities who thought they were untouchable. The crypto king's crown sure didn't protect him when the feds came knocking. 2. Todd and Julie Chrisley. These reality TV stars from Chrisley Knows Best got busted for dodging nearly $2 million in taxes and hiding over $1 million they made from their show from the IRS. For years, they played up this whole perfect Christian family act on USA Network, showing off their fancy lifestyle and giving parenting advice to millions of viewers. But behind all that wholesome family TV nonsense, they were running some serious financial scams. These two were using fake bank statements to get $936 million in loans they had no way of paying back, then hiding their TV money when the cash started rolling in. Todd got hit with 12 years while Julie got 7. Their whole media empire collapsed overnight, leaving their kids to deal with the mess their parents made. It's pretty wild how these reality stars will do anything to keep up appearances for the cameras, even if it means breaking the law. The worst part? They built their brand around being this moral, religious family, making their financial crimes look even shadier. Now instead of giving parenting advice on TV, they're learning about prison life the hard way. 3. Joe Exotic. The Tiger King got sentenced to 22 years later, cut down to 21, for animal abuse and trying to hire someone to kill Carol Baskin. This crazy dude became a global sensation during the pandemic thanks to that Netflix show, but his fame was built on some seriously messed up stuff. His zoo was basically animal hell, hundreds of big cats living in terrible conditions while he was killing tigers left and right to make room for new ones. The guy was so obsessed with Carol Baskin that he kept plotting her murder, getting more desperate as his money problems got worse. Joe's whole life reads like some insane crime novel. Multiple marriages, running for political office, constant legal drama. Prison hasn't been kind to him either. He got diagnosed with prostate cancer and has been dealing with all kinds of health issues. In a weird twist, he actually got married to another inmate named Jorge Marquez in April 2025. Guy claims love finally brought some happiness to his crazy life. His story really exposed the dark world of private exotic animal ownership and all the abuse that goes on when nobody's watching. 4. Fetty Wap. The Trap Queen rapper got 6 years for running a massive drug operation that moved over 100 kilograms of cocaine, heroin, fentanyl, and crack between Long Island and New Jersey from 2019 to 2020. Talk about life imitating art. His biggest hit was literally about the drug game that eventually landed him in prison. Willie Jr. Maxwell II went from struggling in Paterson, New Jersey, to being a multi-millionaire overnight when Trap Queen hit 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. The irony wasn't lost on prosecutors that he never actually left the streets behind, even after making millions from music. His operation was pretty sophisticated, too. They were getting drugs from the West Coast and using mail services plus cars with hidden compartments to distribute everything. When he got caught, he broke down crying in court, saying, "I hurt my community, people who look up to me, my family and myself. His defense tried to say he only got involved because of money problems and loyalty to childhood friends, but prosecutors weren't buying it. They argued his celebrity status made his crimes even worse for communities already getting destroyed by the opioid crisis. He's set to get out March 13, 2027, but his music career is probably toast. 5. NBA Youngboy. Rapper Kentrell Gaulden took a plea deal in November 2024 and got 27 months for federal weapons charges and fraud. This 25-year-old Louisiana artist was one of rap's biggest young stars with billions of streams, but he just couldn't stay out of trouble with the law. His raw, emotional music connected with millions of fans who saw their own struggles in his street stories. But while he was making bank from music, he was also running prescription drug scams using fake IDs, basically operating his own pill mill while on house arrest for gun charges. Federal investigators busted him during a routine check and immediately threw him back in prison. His case shows how hard it is for young rappers to leave the criminal lifestyle behind, even when they're making legitimate money from their music. The streets keep calling, and some artists just can't resist answering. 6. R. Kelly. The RB legend got absolutely destroyed in court. 30 years for federal racketeering and sex trafficking charges, plus another 20 years in Illinois for child pornography. Robert Sylvester Kelly was one of the biggest R&B stars of the 90s and 2000s, with hits like I Believe I Can Fly. But decades of abuse allegations finally caught up with him. The surviving R. Kelly documentary in 2019 blew the lid off his operation, showing how he kept women in cult-like conditions and preyed on young girls for years. Prosecutors proved he was running a criminal enterprise that recruited women and girls for sex, often recording the abuse to keep them under control. Victims testified about years of physical, sexual, and psychological abuse, with Kelly using his fame and influence to lure and control them. His inner circle helped facilitate the abuse, providing transportation, housing, and payments to victims to keep them quiet. His conviction was a huge win for the Me Too movement, and showed that even powerful entertainment figures can be held accountable. He's serving time in federal prison and will likely spend the rest of his life behind bars. The man who once sang about believing he could fly is now learning he can't fly away from justice. 7. Phil Spector. The legendary music producer got convicted of second-degree murder for shooting actress Lana Clarkson to death in 2003 at his mansion. This guy revolutionized popular music with his wall of sound technique, working with the Ronettes, the Chrisleys, and later the Beatles. But his genius got overshadowed by violence and erratic behavior. Multiple women had reported that he threatened them with guns during relationships. So when Lana Clarkson ended up dead from a gunshot to the mouth in his foyer, it wasn't totally shocking. Spector first claimed she kissed the gun and killed herself, but forensic evidence told a different story. His defense team tried to argue the shooting was accidental during a struggle, but prosecutors showed a clear pattern of gun-related threats against women. The eccentric producer's courtroom appearance became a media circus. Every play, he showed up wearing crazy wigs and bizarre outfits throughout the trial. The first trial ended with a hung jury, but the retrial in 2009 got him convicted. He died in prison in 2021 while serving 19 years to life, taking the real truth about that night with him. His musical legacy will always be tainted by that final, violent act. 9. Bill Cosby. America's dad, got convicted of aggravated indecent assault and sentenced to 10 years in prison. His conviction was later overturned on a legal technicality, but dozens of women accused him of sexual abuse spanning decades. Cosby was one of America's most successful comedians and actors, best known for The Cosby Show. His public image as a loving father and moral authority sharply contrasted with accusations from over 50 women who claimed he drugged and raped them. Andrea Constand, a former Temple University basketball administrator, was the only one whose case wasn't too old for criminal prosecution. Prosecutors argued he gave her pills, claiming they were natural remedies, before sexually assaulting her at his home in 2004. His defense claimed the encounter was consensual, but testimony from 5 other women helped establish a pattern of behavior. His 2018 conviction was a watershed moment for the Me Too movement, showing even the most revered celebrities could be held accountable. However, Pennsylvania's Supreme Court overturned his conviction in 2021, ruling his rights were violated when prosecutors used his previous statements against him. 10. Oscar Pistorius. The Blade Runner Paralympic champion got convicted of murdering girlfriend Riva Steenkamp on Valentine's Day 2013 at his home in Pretoria. Born with a condition that required both legs amputated below the knee as a baby, Pistorius became an inspiration by competing against able-bodied athletes in the Olympics. His carbon fiber prosthetics earned him the Blade Runner nickname and made him South Africa's most famous athlete. On February 14, 2013, he fired 4 shots through his locked bathroom door, claiming he thought a burglar had broken in. Steenkamp, a model and law graduate, was killed instantly. Initially convicted of culpable homicide similar to manslaughter, his conviction got upgraded to murder on appeal when the court ruled his story was implausible. The trial revealed a troubled relationship marked by arguments and Pistorius's explosive temper. His defense of mistake of fact, claiming he genuinely believed he was shooting a burglar, got rejected by the appeals court. He got 13 years for murder and was eligible for parole in 2023 after serving half his sentence. His fall from sports hero to convicted murderer shocked the world and highlighted domestic violence issues in South Africa. 11. Kris Wu. The former Chinese-Canadian pop star, once one of Asia's biggest entertainment figures with millions of devoted fans worldwide, got sentenced to 13 years in prison for raping 3 women between November and December 2020. The Beijing court's decision sent shockwaves through the international entertainment industry. Wu's downfall started in July 2021, when a brave young woman filed a complaint with Beijing police, accusing the star of coercing her into a sexual encounter in 2020 when she was just 17. The allegations opened the floodgates as more victims came forward, revealing a pattern of predatory behavior. Prosecutors argued Wu used his celebrity status to perpetuate and conceal systematic abuse. The Chaoyang District Court showed he raped 3 women, and he'll be deported from China after serving his sentence. His case sparked important conversations about abuse of power in celebrity culture. The former EXO member had built a solo career as a rapper and actor, becoming one of China's highest-paid artists. His conviction became part of a broader Chinese government crackdown on celebrity scandals and corruption in the entertainment industry. 12. Ruby Franke. The YouTuber got arrested in 2023, along with business partner Jody Hildebrandt, after one of her abused and malnourished children escaped from home and was spotted by a neighbor asking for food, water, and help. YouTube subsequently banned Franke and removed her videos. She was charged with 4 counts of aggravated child abuse and sentenced to prison in 2024 for each crime, meaning the former YouTuber will live behind bars for up to 30 years. Her 8 Passengers channel followed daily life with her family of 6 children, gaining over 2 million subscribers and millions of views. But behind the cameras, Franke was subjecting her children to severe punishments and emotional abuse under the guise of tough parenting. Neighbors and relatives repeatedly expressed concern about her methods, including denying children food and basic needs as punishment. Her partner Hildebrandt was a life coach who promoted extreme disciplinary methods. Together, they created a toxic environment that led to serious physical and emotional trauma for Franke's children. The case highlighted potential dangers of family vlogging and the need for better protection of children in social media. 13. Josh Duggar. The 19 Kids and Counting star got convicted of receiving and possessing child pornography and sentenced to 12.5 years in federal prison. His conviction came after years of scandals involving the reality TV family. Joshua James Duggar was the oldest child in the Duggar family, known for their conservative Christian lifestyle. In 2015, it was revealed that as a teenager, he inappropriately touched several young girls, including some of his sisters. This scandal led to their TLC show getting canceled. In 2019, federal agents searched his car dealership as part of a child pornography investigation. Prosecutors argued he downloaded and viewed videos of children aged 18 months to 12 years being sexually abused. His defense claimed someone else could have used his computer, but computer forensics experts linked the activity directly to him. His wife Anna stood by him during the trial despite evidence of his crimes. The Duggar case highlighted how religious celebrity status can be weaponized to deflect suspicion while providing access to vulnerable victims. He's serving time in federal prison until 2032. 14. Jared Fogle. The former Subway spokesman got sentenced to 15 years and 8 months for child pornography charges and traveling to engage in illicit sexual conduct with minors. He paid $1.4 million in restitution to his victims. Fogle became the face of Subway in 2000 after losing 245 pounds supposedly by eating the restaurant's sandwiches. His success story made him one of advertising's most recognizable spokesmen, appearing in commercials for over 15 years. But the FBI had been investigating him since 2007 after an informant reported his inappropriate interest in minors. In 2015, his Indiana home got raided as part of a child pornography investigation. Prosecutors found he paid for sex with minors as young as 16 and received child pornography from his foundation director, Russell Taylor. His downfall was swift and complete. Subway immediately cut ties with him, and his charity work with children got exposed as a cover for his predatory behavior. He's serving time in federal prison in Colorado and won't be released until 2029. His case did major damage to the Subway brand and highlighted the importance of thorough background checks for corporate spokespeople. 15. Michael Vick. The former NFL quarterback served 21 months in federal prison for running a dogfighting operation. Vick seemed to have everything: ED, a $130 million NFL contract, talent that made him one of the league's top quarterbacks, and a Super Bowl appearance. But his success masked a brutal double life connected to his hometown of Newport News, Virginia. In 2007, federal agents raided his property in rural Virginia, finding evidence of a large-scale dogfighting operation called Bad News Kennels. Prosecutors revealed Vick personally participated in killing dogs that performed poorly, using methods like hanging, drowning, and electrocution. His case exposed the brutal underground world of dogfighting and led to significant changes in animal cruelty laws across the country. The NFL immediately suspended him, and the Atlanta Falcons demanded he return part of his signing bonus. He lost almost all his wealth through legal fees and settlements. After getting released from prison in 2009, Vick managed to restart his NFL career by signing with the Philadelphia Eagles. He became an active advocate against animal cruelty, working with the Humane Society of the United States. His story became one of the most prominent examples of celebrity fall and redemption in sports. Conclusion: these stories show that criminal behavior exists at all levels of fame and success. While each case is unique, they collectively prove that justice ultimately wins when victims find the courage to speak truth to power and society refuses to protect the powerful over the vulnerable. No matter how much money, influence, or public status someone has, the law applies equally to everyone.